I'm about to share with you what is probably the number one thing that almost every seller of real estate does wrong. And even though you will now know about it, you are also going to do it wrong. That's right. People do it all the time. No matter how many times I tell people that this happens, they just never want to listen. So listen really, really closely, because one day you're going to want to sell your home, and then you too can ignore this information. But before I continue, there is one piece of advice you can do right now that will better your life, and that is to subscribe to this channel, where you can instantly be entered into our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. If you are looking to buy real estate, go down below in the description and download our Informed Buyer's Guide. And make sure to hit the like button so this information can get out to other people. You hitting the like button is the best way for other people to find this information, which they can then completely ignore. So thank you very much. Oh, wait, you didn't even press it, did you? And now on with the video. Okay, so here you go. Everyone's biggest fear when selling their home is,
oh no, where will I go? Will I ever find a house? Am I going to be homeless?
and I totally understand that fear. After all, you're selling your house where you live. The market is hot. Inventory is at an all-time low. And why would I help you find a place? Because just a couple seconds ago, for me, you couldn't even hit the like button. But seriously, this is a legitimate fear that everybody has, specifically if you're not in a position to purchase your next home first. Obviously, purchasing your next home first is the ideal situation, but most people cannot afford to own two homes. And buying first and then not being able to sell your old home for what you thought is enough to put most people in financial ruin, if the whole thing doesn't go according to plan. So the only reasonable fix to this whole situation is to go down into your basement, curl up into a ball, never move again, and live in fear for the rest of your life.
What's wrong with curling up in a ball?
No, obviously not. There's nothing wrong with curling up in a ball, and that is not the solution. The fix is to negotiate extremely long dates for the sale of your current home, so you have enough time to then go out and purchase your next home. You see, when most people are looking to sell their home, they're always fixated on the price they're going to get for their home. But with that contract also comes dates, and dates are extremely important as well. In my experience, most sellers actually think that if they get the price they want, they have to accept the dates, even if they're way too fast. And that's just simply not true. Reality is that dates can be just as important as the price, and they can often cause deals to go south. For example, if the seller wants to be out right now, you may actually negotiate a cheaper price if you can close faster, or vice versa. If the seller is scared about where they're going to go, they may want really, really long dates. So you might get a better price if you give them enough time to find their next place. And just to be clear, these dates that I'm talking about are written in the contract for completion. So you may have sold your home today, but the sale completes or you get the money down the road. So we're talking about the completion date and the possession date. Anything less than 30 days is a very quick close, and most banks won't fund a mortgage unless they have at least 17 days. So that's kind of your minimum window. Anything less than that and closing might be near impossible unless you have all cash. Next, a regular close is between 60 and 90 days. And this is what we call regular because it is more than enough time in order to go out and shop and find your next place. In fact, if you negotiate longer dates than that, there's a good chance you might take your time and think that you have more time. Therefore, you might be in the market for a longer period. If you're in the market too long, that market could change, either going up or down. And if it goes up, you've just put yourself in a negative spot. So 2 to 3 months is normal, but a very long close is 120 days or 4 months. You do not want to go longer than a 120-day close. And the biggest reason for that is that most banks will only approve their client's sale up to 120 days out. So if you go 121 days out, your buyer may need to re-qualify for their loan again. And if anything changed, like the market or their income, I mean, rates could even change. And at that point, you could have just now compromised the sale. But now let's get back to the point of this video. When you do sell your home, you're going to be absolutely terrified about having quick dates and possibly becoming homeless. So that fear builds up, and then you ask me, your real estate agent, to negotiate you a long close, somewhere between 90 and 120 days. So we get the deal together, you sign the paperwork that night, breathe a sigh of relief because your home is sold and you don't have to move out for up to 4 months. So you go to bed that night, you have the best sleep of your life, and then a funny thing always happens to our clients. that next morning. Well, I hope they wake up the next day, because if they didn't, that wouldn't be funny. Anyway, the next day, or at least let's call it the weekend following, you're now on your house hunt. And guess what? No matter what, this always happens every single time. You think there's nothing out there, but now your home is sold. You know how much money you have to spend. And when you go to an open house, the reality is you can offer on that open house. So without fail, within the first 2 weeks, every single time, you will find your dream home, or at least your next home. And more often than not, that property is available a lot sooner than 120 days out. Maybe the seller got transferred to another city for work, or maybe they're one of those people that were so scared about being homeless that they went and bought their new home first. And now they're under pressure to line up their completion date of their old home with their new home. 5 days ago, you sold your home, and in 115 days, you need to be out of it. But you find out that the owner of your next dream home wants to be out in, say, 33 days. Well, you've gone and done it. You've put yourself in a position that I'm begging you in this video specifically not to put yourself in. But you will. So what is the solution exactly? Well, there is a couple. You can go back to the buyer of your current place and ask them if they're now willing to move up the dates. They probably wanted earlier dates in the first place, but you pushed them all the way out. So they may have a sour taste in their mouth about now changing the dates, because those are the dates you wanted originally. Now, if they're eager, they may say, yeah, let's go ahead and change the dates. I want to be in my new house as well. But often they start to think, I don't know, maybe can I get a little bit of money out of these people for that date change? And if you ask for a date change in the wrong manner, it can actually blow up the whole deal. You could offer to pay a little bit more money for the home in order for that seller to hold that property until your closing date, but that's not necessarily a great idea, because now you're going to have to finance that cost into your mortgage, and you're going to be paying for it for the next 25 or 30 years. And really, if you don't give the seller the dates they want in the hot market that we're in right now, they may pick a different offer other than yours. But another great option is a bridge loan. What a bridge loan does is it lends you the down payment for your next home, so you can complete on it earlier. Now, this is nice and comfortable because you now own both of the homes for a period of up to about 30 days. But bridge loans do cost money. They cost a daily fee, usually some sort of legal fees, and the banks may charge administration fees. And not all banks offer bridge loans. So what is the actual fix that I'm going to recommend that you really do in this video and then you won't do? I'm going to suggest that you should negotiate yourself somewhere between a 60 and 90 day closing. If you've recently bought or sold a property, comment below. I'd love to know how many days it took you from when you firmed up the deal or made the offer even until you actually closed on the property. I'm super interested to find out what the average number is. But don't worry, I know that when it comes time to actually sell your home, you're going to ignore this advice. And then just a few days later, you're also going to regret ignoring this advice. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out another couple of videos while you're here. Click the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you in a couple of days.